The dust has finally settled after the debt ceiling crisis, but unsurprisingly, Congress is gearing up for its next fight. Some of that fighting is within the Republican Party itself after Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene was kicked out of the right-wing House Freedom Caucus. What does that mean going forward? Joining us now to talk about it is Politico's senior congressional correspondent, Rachel Bade. Rachel, let's start with that big news about Marjorie Taylor Greene getting voted out of the House Freedom Caucus. What does that tell us about the current state of the Republican Party?
I mean, the civil war in the GOP clearly is ongoing. I mean, this dynamic is especially fascinating because Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of the most pro-Trump, pro-MAGA members of the House, and the Freedom Caucus has long been considered one of Trump's top allies in the House. So what gives here? I mean, for the Freedom Caucus, they were actually created in 2015 as this sort of entity that would band together and try to push leadership to the right on policy matters. They essentially exist because they want to challenge GOP leadership. The problem here with Marjorie Taylor Greene is that she has recently become a top ally of Kevin McCarthy, and that goes against, the whole sort of grain of the Freedom Caucus, and it's really irked a lot of these members, which is why they decided to vote for the first time since they've been created several years ago to expel a member. Now, I do think it's important to note that there are a number of Freedom Caucus members who are now friendly with Kevin McCarthy. Think people like Jim Jordan, who was longtime critic of McCarthy, kept him from becoming speaker years ago, but is now one of his best friends. But the difference between Jordan and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the reason why she was ousted but he has not been, is because Marjorie Taylor Greene is very public in her criticism with the Freedom Caucus. She blasted a lot of them for not supporting McCarthy. She blasted a lot of them for not supporting the debt ceiling deal. And the other day, she actually called one of them a word I'm not going to repeat for the sake of children's ears, specifically using a profanity word with a fellow Freedom Caucus member on the House floor. That, I'm told, was the final straw and why she was ultimately given the boot.
Thanks for your restraint in not saying that word, Rachel. But, for all that you're saying that the House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has now won some support from those who were critics not long ago, he is still facing backlash from his colleagues, right, after agreeing to that debt limit deal with the president. Some House members stopped just about everything on the floor for a couple of weeks now. So what do things look like at the moment? Is McCarthy's job in jeopardy at all?
Republican members on the Hill like to joke that McCarthy's basically like the cat that has 9 lives. Every time you think his speakership is dead, he finds a way to sort of rejuvenate things and come back to life. I will say that when it comes to conservatives and McCarthy's relationships, a lot of trust has been broken in recent weeks because of that debt ceiling deal he made with the White House. And he's doing his utmost right now to try to repair that. The problem is a lot of them feel like he's betrayed them and broken too many promises. And so, I mean, they're going to be watching him very closely over the summer. I'm sure the talk about ousting McCarthy is not going to go anywhere. It's going to continue to happen privately. And another big thing to keep in mind, McCarthy and Donald Trump's relationship is a little bit frayed right now. And that's significant because Donald Trump was a longtime ally of McCarthy, and he shielded him from criticism from the far right for a long time. Well, Trump is angry that McCarthy has not endorsed him for speaker. And, his whole team has been complaining about this behind the scenes, saying McCarthy owes them. What is he doing? And so if Trump and McCarthy are on bad terms, this is going to be a problem for McCarthy in the future when he doesn't have a big conservative and MAGA world defender in his corner.
What about the work they're supposed to be doing for the people, right? Because, I mean, Congress is on vacation right now, members of Congress. When they get back from vacation, what is on their agenda?
So July is very much a month focused on government funding. Congress goes on recess in August, and when they come back in September, they're just a few days shy of the government running out of money. So July is sort of seen as this period where they're going to try to pass a bunch of spending bills and get a lot of that work done. The issue McCarthy is going to have in the House is that his members are very divided about what the spending levels should be, how severe should certain cuts be to different departments. He has conservatives who want to go at lower numbers than moderate Republicans from Biden districts who are in vulnerable seats and worried that if they take tough votes that roll back, spending that average Joe Americans benefit from, that it's going to come back and haunt them in 2024. So he's going to have to thread that needle. And even if he can get those bills passed through the House, the Senate is going to be marking up their own spending bills at a totally different level that was actually approved by the White House as part of the debt ceiling bill. So there's going to be a lot of spending drama this July, and it's definitely going to spill over into the fall.
Oh, great. More drama to look forward to, Rachel. So President Biden has been in re-election mode, right? Touting his policy wins on the campaign trail. But it seems like it's only a matter of time before his next fight with Congress. So where is the next sort of pain point, pressure point between Congress and the administration?
I think approps is going to be the thing that is very clearly out front in the next couple of months as Congress tries to pass these spending bills and Biden says, no, you got to give me more money for X, Y, and Z as you originally promised you would. But there's also going to be increasing discussion, I'm already hearing from certain Republicans, about impeachment. Speaker Kevin McCarthy came out just a couple of days ago and said that he was supportive of beginning an impeachment inquiry of Attorney General Merrick Garland. And that is something that, you know, Republicans are actually quite divided on. I actually just got off the phone a couple of hours ago with a conservative who sits on the Judiciary Committee and is part of the Freedom Caucus, who is currently opposed to the idea of impeaching Merrick Garland. This is not a moderate Republican, a centrist Republican who's in a swing district. This is a conservative who is from like a very red meat district where they do want to see impeachments happen of the administration. But the problem is, again, they're divided. And so we'll have to see how that progresses. And if it does progress, that is going to be an issue for Joe Biden on the campaign trail. Obviously, this is not a dynamic he wants to have to deal with as he's gearing up for his reelection and wants to talk about the economy and about his bipartisan, you know, infrastructure achievements, et cetera. If there's an impeachment of Garland, of Biden, of Mayorkas, any other cabinet members, it's just going to be an embarrassment and a distraction from what he wants to talk about.
All right, Rachel Bade, thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.